He saved the thief while he was on the cross, Luke chapter 23 verse 38, and a superscription was also written over the cross of Elu'hymn within many languages and within bold letters in Greek, and within Latin, and within Hebrew, and which was also written in today's language which is called English. And which was saying, that He's the King of Kings. And that He's the King of the heavens and the earth. But the Jews didn't want nothing to do with so they said that He isn't the King of the Jews. And then one of the malefactors who were hanging on the cross, who was beside Elu'hymn, began to rail and to denounce that wasn't the Christ, and that wasn't the Holy One whom was also called the Holy Prophet Elu'hymn. And also, Elu and Elu'hymn, and also Elu'hymn. And then he began to mock by saying, to Elu'hymn, if thou art the Christ, save yourself and then save us. And that is if thou can. Because I know that thou can't. Then if thou can save yourself then thou can also save any one of us. And then the other thief said to him, Man, you don't have any empathy at all. Because we are also being crucified. And we too are guilty of all the crimes which they say that we have committed. But this man, he's innocent of all these sins, and yet they have beaten him up, and they have also done all this abuse and mistreatment to him, and also this cruel sentence which was sanctioned by the Romans, and which was carried out by their centurions, and by the head of the Jesuits' council, and also by the head of the Latin Church, and also by their high priests, and also all the acts of their God which was carried out against and we are indeed all sinners. And then he turned to and he said, But thou hast done justly. But we all have received the due punishment for our evil deeds, and we deserve this penalty. Then he said to them, But this man Elu'hymn haven't done any sins and nothing which is amiss. Yet he's being crucified. And then he turned again shamefully after saying this to and he said to I believe that thou art the brother of Judas Jesus. And I believe that thou art the Holy One whom is the odd. And also I believe that thou art the one whom is the Holy Prophet. And the righteous one whom is both Lord, and King. And whom is the Almighty whom is the Holy Father, and also the sovereign Creator of every one, and also the Maker of everything. And I believe that thou art the King of all the heavens and the earth. And then he said to Elu, Remember me when I come into thy judgment court. And if thou would, I ask that thou would please let me come into thy holy kingdom. Luke chapter 23 verses 3, and then he said to Jesus whom was still standing around looking on at his crucifixion, Have you heard what this man just said? And then he said to the man who was one of the malefactor, who was empathetic to and whom had believed in and that he is Christ. And that he is the brother of Jesus, Judas. Because this man was also in prison with Barabbas, whom was released by Pilate to the people. And he became empathetic to and he believed that he was the Holy One and that he was also the Holy Prophet. And also that he was the Christ. And then he turned to him. And he said to him, Because you have believed in me. And also that I'm the Christ, just for these saying. And I will truly save you. Because these sayings are the truth, and so that many people may know that I'm truly Elu'hymn, Elu'hymn whom is the Holy One, and the Almighty whom is both the brother of Judas Jesus, and the odd, and whom is both the King and the sovereign odd of all the heavens and the earth. Then today you shalt be with me, in Yah's kingdom. And also be with in his paradise. My conclusion, friends, just like the malefactor on the cross, who had empathy for and whom had remorse for his sins, and who himself came to the conclusion that he's the Christ, and that he's the sovereign odd of all the heavens and the earth. I whom believed in Elu'hymn, and who then turned to and asked to remember him, after his death, and also that he would grant him forgiveness and that he would remember him when he would come into his holy kingdom, and also his paradise. And he gladly accepted and then he said that he would. Hallelujah! What an awesome odd we have in the Jesus Christ. So my friend, despite what we have done and also what we are going through in this life, he can save us. It isn't too late to be saved. So if we all would only just acknowledge he and embrace he as he Christ, and also if we all would embrace Elu'hymn as the sovereign odd, then he too would save us. So let us beginning to acknowledge he and also embrace Elu'hymn today. Elu'hymn wants to save us. Thank you. And may he remember each and every one of us when we die, and when we all come into his judgment court. May Elu'hymn grant us access into his holy kingdom, and also he would grant to us access into his paradise. Just by us only believing in his holy sacred name. So let it be, Elu'hymn. Amen. The end. To be continued.